What's going on, guys? This is Foresight Capital, and today we're going to talk about Palantir's price action from last week and what to expect for the upcoming week, as well as what to expect all the way through demo day at the end of the month and the stock lockup expiration. So there's going to be a lot of different catalysts talked about in this video. You'll want to stay until the end. But first, I wanted to plug the Discord for this channel. We've got well over 100 members already active on this Discord, and it's growing very quickly. We've had a lot of great conversations so far, so if you're interested in having more dynamic conversations with anybody you've seen in the comments or with myself about stock ideas, fundamental and technical analysis, swing trading, and long-term holds, all of that is available in this Discord. I also send out a daily watch list and real-time trading updates as I buy and sell stocks. So if you're interested in any of that, check out the Discord in the link in the description below. Also in the link in the description below is a link to Webull. Their promotion for 4 free stocks is getting ready to end, so make sure you take advantage of that. If you sign up for a new account and deposit $100, you will get 4 free stocks valued at up to $3,700, which is a great way to start out your new brokerage platform. So Palantir had a rather boring week last week, but we had some exciting price action towards the end of the week. We saw a sell-off towards the 2260 price point that we've been talking about for some time, but a pretty immediate snap back, and then throughout the rest of the week we trended upward and actually broke back above 2460, which is indicated by this yellow line. And I had indicated in a video earlier in the week that I thought we would trade in between these two price points for some time until there was news, but it turns out that Alex Karp's interview with the Washington Post was actually very bullish for the stock. And much like Palantir always is in any sort of public interview, they were pretty tight-lipped about their projects and products, and a lot of that is just due to the fact that it's bespoke products that Palantir is creating. So there wasn't a whole lot said about the performance of the company or any upcoming project expectations, but a lot of the things that were very bullish from that conversation were just things that were hinted at, such as Alex continuing to reaffirm that they are different from the rest of the big tech companies out there and are more willing to take on government and military projects that other companies are not, and just continuously hinting to the investors and anybody watching that Palantir is really well positioned to take advantage of some big contracts with the upcoming administration. So a lot of things that weren't explicitly said in that interview were actually very bullish. And we've seen Palantir's investors react with an increase in price towards the end of the week from well under $22 per share to running all the way up to almost $27 before having just a bit of a pullback on Friday. Now this is setting up to be a 2460 retest on Monday and throughout the rest of the week, assuming that we don't get a big gap up or big gap down, and that we open relatively flat on Monday. We could potentially see some base building around this 2460 line, which would be a bullish setup to make yet another push towards the 2770 line that we've tried for multiple times and been rejected by during this downtrend that we've been seeing since all-time highs from the end of November. So if we see an open and a continuous hold above 2460, we could be yet again building a base and indicating that the 2260 levels are gone for at least now. And I think that there's going to be a pretty big bullish run-up heading into the end of the month. Now, Palantir has a live demo day, their very first live demo day, towards the end of the month on January 26th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time after the market closed, where they're going to demo their Foundry, Gotham, and Apollo platforms. And they've indicated that they're going to give examples of their commercial and government work. Now, what we would really like to see in the Palantir live demo day is more of a demonstration towards their commercial work, because we already know that they do great work for the government and a lot of things have to stay tight-lipped. So I think that their best use of this press coverage is realistically going to be touching on the commercial side. They're also very heavily weighted in government contracts, so picking up and showcasing other platforms that can benefit commercial businesses is going to be a lot more beneficial for their time than some of the government contract work. Now, that's just my personal opinion. You may feel that they should target the contract work and that they should continue pushing that sector, but as an investor personally, and I do own shares of Palantir, I would love to see them really branch out and cut the level of revenue that they get from governments down Now, I want to see them grow the pie as a whole, so of course we want continuous government contracts, but I would like to see a larger lenience on the commercial contract side in order to have some diversified revenue. And so I think that we're going to see a continued run of the stock price into that January 26th date, which gives us a couple of trading weeks to play with. Now, that doesn't mean that Palantir is going to go up every single day. Of course, this stock has been very volatile, and there still isn't a ton of publicly available data out there from past earnings reports, so every little news event can have a big effect on Palantir, both to the upside or the downside. We've seen a ton of volatility over the past couple of weeks. This doesn't look like a big move, but it was a 10% move in 3 days. Again, really just on an interview that gave Palantir some publicity that was potentially much needed, but they didn't really announce anything spectacular, and they've been pretty tight-lipped ever since. So we're seeing 10% moves in a 2 to 3 trading day period, and I think we're going to continue to see that, meaning that I wouldn't expect us to push towards all-time highs next week or anything, but I do expect to see some base building, ideally above this 2460, to set up a base for the next push higher over the next couple of weeks. Now, we've also, and I personally expect to see a push to continue increasing the price for Palantir all the way through lockup expiration date. There's been a lot of confusion online about when lockup expiration date is, but from their S1, which is their official release to the SEC when they announced that they were going public, it says that their outstanding stock options will be able to be sold at the start of the 3rd trading day following the public disclosure of financial results for year ending December 31st, 2020. That means once they announce their Q4 earnings report, even then, the shares still don't become publicly available for sale until the start of the 3rd trading day. Now, we don't have their confirmed Q4 announcement, but the NASDAQ has it pegged as February 11th. Now, February 11th, I believe, is a Thursday, so the actual lockup expiration date should start at the beginning of trading on February 16th. That gives us well over a month where a lot of the early on investors and early on employees in Palantir have a financial incentive to keep the stock price pumped as high as possible so that they will be able to offload shares at those highs. That means that I don't really expect any big pullbacks in the stock price. Now, we will have the earnings report and we will have demo day between now and the time that the lockup actually expires. So as I mentioned, I expect to see a continuation of the increase in price throughout demo day as hype is built, much like we just saw with Neo Day. A big run up in price leading up to Neo Day, much like we've seen with Tesla in the past and their announcements. Now, of course, Palantir isn't going to be as flashy, and there aren't going to be as many things to show off to a wide audience. I don't expect people to be tuning in to the thousands watching the live stream outside of larger investors and potentially some of the people on this channel who love Palantir as a company. But I do expect to see a continuation of the increase in price towards then. And then, of course, a continuation beyond that, ideally, all the way through at least February 16th, where then investors are going to have the opportunity to offload their shares. And at that point, we will see a decline in price. I don't know how much it will be, but people inevitably will be wanting to sell their shares because they will have held them all the way from $9 or below, because some of them will even have a lower cost basis, meaning that they're going to have substantial gains to take. And I think if we see a continuous run up in price, that could be upwards of 300% that they have the potential to take gains on. Meaning at that point, we should see a bit of a pullback. But my personal expectation between now and about the middle of February 16th, it looks like as of now, according to NASDAQ's estimation of when the actual Q4 earnings are going to be, we're going to see that continuous run up. So that's just kind of my thoughts. I'm going to do some deeper dives into each of these sections, both the lockup and the demo day, a little closer, but I wanted to give some good expectations for seeing a bit of a run up above 2260, and I'm looking for some base building over the next week and possibly even a push towards 2770, but we really need to see it hold 2460. over Monday and the first couple trading days of the week before we can realistically talk about that, and then ideally we see a push higher. Let me know down in the comments below, though, what you're most excited about for Palantir. Is it the Q4 earnings? Are you more excited for the demo day, or even for the lockup period to possibly be able to buy a dip? I'm curious to see what your favorite upcoming day for Palantir is. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I make deep dives on Palantir and other stocks all the time, and if this video brought you value, give it a thumbs up. And I do have to plug the Discord just one more time. The link is in the description below. Over 100 members. We're having some active conversations and really learning a lot and teaching each other a lot. So again, I hope this video brought you value. I appreciate you watching till the end, and catch you in the next one.